Gundam.tk presents 00 Gundam. Hello everyone, and welcome to a review of 00 Gundam. Now, this is a 1/100th kit, but it's not high grade or master grade, though because it's 1/100th it's the same size as most master grades. It's from the anime Gundam 00, and of course the model is made by Bandai. This kit is number 11 in the 00 series of 1/100th models, and it sells for 2,800 yen, so roughly $28 US. And one of the selling points of this model is that the GN drives, light up. And those batteries are sold separately, which it's nice enough to tell you right on the box cover. The box itself, of course, comes with a front and back body shot, and it looks a little bit bulky. Some story and a list of weapons it comes with. GN swords, GN sabers, and the GN swords can change into rifle mode, and a shield. The rest of the box shows that it can attach to a Bandai action base, shows poses, and of course, the main selling feature of this, which is not often included in a 1/100th kit, is the fact that the GN drive lights up with the batteries that are of course sold separately. And now it's time for the unboxing. Two-part box as usual, and when you open it up you get a manual and 4 packages of clear plastic. Looks like 2 white sprues, the A sprue with red, gray, yellow, and white, also stickers, blue and dark gray polycaps, and sure enough, this is the disappointing part. When you open this up, you're going to find that the clear parts for all of the knobs on the legs, and most importantly the forehead, it's not painted. So you can do it with stickers, it looks like, but including the head antenna, it's supposed to be a red sticker, and that's not going to look anywhere near like it should if they were clear parts. So let's see what happens when we put it together. The manual itself has a pretty unique cover, really showing off the GN particles coming out of the GN drive. And when you open it up, of course, it'll show you all of the parts that are included. Directions on how to put everything together written in Japanese, but they're pretty easy to follow along with. Then you'll get a couple pages of directions, and in the middle, story and all the fictional parts of the 00 Gundam, and a focus on its pilot, or Gundam Meister, Setsuna FCA. There is a page of fold-out directions, and then at the back, color paint guide, more information on how to put it together if you are going to paint it. It looks pretty good unpainted though out of the box. And on the back, if you're lazy like me, some pretty cool poses that you can copy later. Now, people often ask me which tools you need to build a Gundam, and really it can be as simple as this, with a pair of plastic nippers and a modeling knife. This set of nippers is expensive. I started with a $3 pair, bumped up to an $8 pair, and then eventually bought a $20 pair, and the difference is actually worth it. If you build a lot, I really can't stress that enough. Other things that I of course use are gray and black lining markers, and I use toothpicks and Q-tips just to smooth that out. And when you cut the gates off the pieces sometimes, you'll be left with a white discoloration. So if you buy a set of Gundam markers, it'll do you pretty well. You get all the main colors, and then you can just touch up all the white spots and fix them up. And of course, if you want to use the GN drive, you're going to need a Phillips driver, but that's only if you want to use it. So, a couple bucks in tools, most of which you'll reuse, and that's everything. Now usually I don't paint my models, But this kit came with the clear parts, and it should be painted in green, red, and blue. So I spent $1.50 each on these Tamiya enamel paints and got them. And of course you need some cleaner after, a brush, and you can turn the clear parts into something like this. Now, whether that's worth it or not, you can take a look at the complete model and decide for yourself. Now, one of the features of this, of course, is the light-up GN drives, but they're going to get you. You'll need 2 batteries, one for each GN drive, and they cost $3 a piece. Basically, open this up with the driver, put the battery inside, put this together. Again, if you paint this green, I think the effect does work out. And when it's in the GN drive, there's a switch back here that's still accessible even when it's attached to the Gundam. And you turn the switch, and you will get this kind of effect. Is it worth $6? Again, you can decide. So now forget about all the details. What do you get when it's all put together? Well, you'll get your legs, feet, a lower torso, which is pretty big, an upper torso, which is pretty small, 2 arms, 2 GN drives, 2 daggers slash shield, they combine together, 2 Jin sabers, and 2 Jin swords, which can also transform into a Jin gun. Let's take a look at the parts. Starting with the feet have no mobility at all, red, white, and gray. But they do have a unique ankle joint, which is pretty cool because in addition to going forward and backwards, it can also go side to side. So it's similar to the high-grade 144th model. The legs themselves are very white. The inside kneecap is white, and the outside, that's painted green with the clear enamel paint. As far as mobility goes, you can do a full bend, so it's pretty good. Very simple, hardly any lining whatsoever. The lower waist is a little underwhelming, but the side panels, of course, can move so that you can get the legs to kick out. And these are just 2 big gray pieces put together. In the back, you're going to have a place to store his beam swords. And in the upper chest, this is where it starts to look like the 00 Gundam. The shoulders can go forward and back, as well as up and down. Fair bit of mobility. This is one piece, and anything that's not master grade will usually, if it's a sharp piece like this, well, sharp, then Bandai will have extra plastic sticking on there. Of course, you can just take your nippers, get a straight line, and cut that off. The back has some engines, and again, hardly any lining whatsoever here. Now the arms are where this really shines for a 1/100th model. Straight, they look like this, but they have a fair bit of mobility. The shoulders move, it rotates here, good elbow that can bend here and bend all the way up. The wrist, the blue part, also bends, and the hand, this is a solid hand that doesn't move at all. It comes with 2 different fists. And of course we have the GN drive. It has a little bit of flexibility up here at the top, and it can pivot around to come to the front as a shield, to spin to the back as a drive, or just to sit out on the shoulder and look cool. And as I showed before, so once you flip the switch in the back, you get the light up of the GN drives. Now the beam sabers are again a little underwhelming. I don't think he's used them very much in the anime so far, but again they're very thin without any of the flash that newer ones have had. Now, the GN sword is actually much better than I expected. Now, it starts like this, and this is the clear blue that I painted on, but the cool part about this is that it can transform, pull this forward, split the handle down like this, and then this you have to actually do manually. Detach the blade and turn it sideways, locks into place, and instead of having a sword now, you have a beam rifle of sorts. Now, the shield can split into 2 parts which can be used as daggers, and these can extend like this. And also, when you're putting it on the Gundam itself, you can detach this and put the blue part higher up, which just shows off the GN drives a little bit more. And you can get this kind of effect. So this is the small one, this is the fully extended one. Don't forget, I now have too many Gundam reviews up, and you can check them all out on YouTube at www.gundam.tk.